My name is Charlie from Lean Systems, and due to popular demand, today I'm going to be unpacking the anatomy of a high converting outreach campaign for AI consultants. So typically, after implementing the systems, which I'm going to show you how to implement during today's video, we'll typically see AI consultants be able to generate at least 30 qualified sales calls a month on autopilot. And that's not immediately, but typically within 3 months, we'll see these kind of results. So stick around until the end if you want to see exactly how to do this. So first and foremost, it's a question of positioning. All AI consultants, all consultants writ large, have an idea of who they serve, what kind of problems they solve. But before scaling into cold outreach, talking to cold audiences, it's first important to consider, in a very crystal clear manner, who you help and how. This is your value proposition to the market. A really useful framework which you can apply when thinking about your offer and how to position it is, we help this ICP achieve this outcome by this mechanism. So for example, this could be, we help tech companies reduce their recruitment expenses by 37% by using our AI-driven hiring process. That would be a very clear-cut and specific value proposition. And of course, the best offers are going to be those which do one of three things. And they're all kind of connected. Make more money, save money, or save time. So of course, there's always a financial aspect to any investment which a company is making. It's just so important that the offer reflects that. So take time in the beginning before embarking on the next steps I'm going to show you to really dial in your offer. And it might be that you have various different offers. It might be that you, for example, are able to help one specific industry with one specific problem. Well, take that as your first outreach campaign and focus on that. So I would recommend taking your best clients or the deals which were the easiest to close and have had the best results and starting with that and having that be your first campaign. You can always iterate and try other ICPs later on down the line. But here we're just going to describe the anatomy of one campaign. Second, we'd look at targeting. So this is building that lead list. And it's important here to be laser focused. Coming back to the first point a little bit, yes, you can help everyone, but in order to help everyone, you need to start by helping someone. So laser focused targeting and being specific. Honing in on your ICP to ensure every outreach is meaningful and relevant. If we're going to be doing outreach, we want to make sure that we're maximizing the chance that each single outreach message that we're sending, every single action is worthwhile. And by having a very solid, defined, dialed in lead list, we're able to do that. One other thing which we like to do is to target intents. So an intent-driven outreach campaign is going to have far better results than a non-intent-driven outreach campaign. So what do I mean by intents? Well, your prospects are very likely to exhibit certain behaviors which signal a high purchase intent. So for example, for our prior example, this example, if we target companies who have active job listings for recruitment, we know that they're in the market trying to solve their problem already, and they're willing to spend money on that. So it's a very, very clear intent. We can insert ourselves as a solution and at a minimum, generate a conversation with that prospect. So building this lead list and doing this targeting, there's a variety of tools you can use, all the way from creating a broad industry list of decision makers down to doing something a little bit more specific, targeting intents and actually scraping that data. We use a variety of tools to achieve building these lead lists. And this goes from more of the automation tools to plug the pieces together, such as NA10, to Clay, Ocean, and Apollo, which really allow us to get the data we want, get the LinkedIn URLs, get the emails, and we enrich that data using AI. So when I say enrich that data, grabbing data points about where a specific company is at, for example. So imagine you wanted to use fundraising as your intent. Well, we're going to grab data about the most recent fundraising round, the size, the magnitude, the stage, and include that in our outreach. So this final step of enrichment is going to be very, very useful in our next step. And we're going to be producing future videos about exactly how to enrich lead lists, which is going to embellish this process which I'm showing you today as we dive into some of the tutorials using these tools. Once we have the lead list, it's a question of messaging. How do we take our offer, target that lead list with copy which steps on the problem, steps on the pain point? That's exactly what we want to do. We want to step on their problem with short, sharp copy which triggers a response. We're looking to get the prospect from cold, literally just to receive the message from us out of nowhere, onto a call to learn more about their business to see whether they might be a good fit. So naturally, the first thing is just to get going with the conversation. And what we want there is a response. Don't rely on generic emails. A lot of the outreach that you might receive or I might receive is not the type of outreach that you want to be sending. It's very generic. Hi, my name's Kevin. We have this business. We do this, and this. It's all about them and it's not about the prospect. So use lead enrichment to create personalized copy, which ultimately yields a higher response rate. So for example, carrying on with our example of recruitment, I noticed you are hiring for a solutions consultant. How's that going? This signals we've taken a look at what they're doing and we're asking about an intent that they've already signaled to the market. So for example, we could be someone who has a candidate for them, for example. That's going to trigger a response. That's going to open up the door to a conversation. And typically we'll create A, B, C versions of copy just to test exactly what works with the offer, with the lead list, with that certain ICP. And we test and then we choose the copy which converts the best, of course. A little bonus for you here in terms of messaging and building copy is to include an intro offer in that first email. A free resource or case study which showcases your expertise and gives prospects immediate value up front before you even pitch them anything. It's always the best way to start a relationship is by providing value first before asking for anything. And that's exactly what we're doing to a small extent with that intro offer idea. And then it's a question of outreach, right? We have our offer, we have our lead list, and we have our copy. It's time to start testing. Email and LinkedIn are your best friend here. And I always say to people, what platforms, what means of communication are you using during your working week? Email and LinkedIn. And if you're not on LinkedIn, you're certainly checking your emails. So it's one of the two or it's both. That's exactly where we want to be targeting decision makers within the organizations which match your ICP. So just to start off with emails, create an account with smartlead.ai, buy 20 domains from GoDaddy, create 40 email inboxes, so 2 per domain, and start sending 800 emails per day, 20 per account, after warming those accounts up for around 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, typically where we'll see email deliverability being fully dialed in. Those accounts are ready to start sending that volume of emails. At this volume, just on email, you'll be receiving 2 to 3 interested leads per day, regardless of your service at this volume. And you can trust me on that because we've tried this tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of times. So almost irregardless of your service, you'll be seeing that kind of lead volume. Then it's obviously a question of, okay, what can we improve with the offer, with the messaging to actually increase the amount of responses that we get. And naturally, if we're sending outreach, we're going to be receiving messages back. Follow-up, extremely important. In B2B sales, speed is essential. We want to be responding to leads while they're still interested. So we'll build automations using tools like Zapier or N8N to actually contact leads as soon as they respond and minimize that speed to lead time. Ultimately, the quicker you get back to leads, the more sales you'll make. So at this point, we know what works. We've tested our lead list and our copy. We've built and warmed up the email and LinkedIn infrastructure to actually be able to send the amount of volume that we want to be sending on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. We have a system in place to maximize the response speed for our follow-ups. And now it's time to scale. Make sure to open enough slots in your calendar. The last point is half a joke and half not because we've actually seen that issue before. But if you follow all of the steps correctly that I've laid out today, that will be the end result. And I'll just take you back to where we started, which is that just at these not insane levels of outbound volume, if every single step is dialed in, tested, and perfected, these are the results that you'll be seeing. So with that said, if you are an AI consultant and you're looking for the exact system we run for our clients, book in a call and let's talk shop. Thank you for watching.